Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to my channel. And today I've got a Seiko Flightmaster to review. I think this watch is quite out there, so I'm hoping a lot of people do know about this already. This is the Seiko SNA411 Flightmaster, nicknamed Flighty. Okay, so let's get to it. Now Seiko had, they do have quite a sort of a little range on aviation watches with the flight computers. I've covered another one already. This is the second one of my collection. I have three in total, I think, with this Flightmaster flight computer slash aviation chronographs. This subjective, I wouldn't say it's the best looking one, but it does look absolutely fantastic. I really love this watch, and I wasn't going to keep it. I actually bought it because it was a really good price, and I know at the moment they were fetching decent money for what they are, and I bought it. But I think one look, and I decided to keep it. Now the Flightmaster series in the chronograph section of Seiko, they do have quite a few. The layouts are quite similar. They've all got this flight computer around there, which is actually amazing if you actually think about what it is and learn what it can do. So it's a calculator basically. You can work out all sorts of things. You can convert things, liters to like foot, pounds, speed, gallons, kilograms, my god, fuel, oil, imperial gallons, all sorts of stuff. I think it's actually amazing. I know there's a video on YouTube which tells you, which goes through it all. It's actually mind-blowing. I don't understand a single word they say, but you know, it looks fantastic. I mean, again, you look at it, well, it's a busy dial. Personally, I don't think it's a busy dial. I think it's purpose built, you know, it's functional. Obviously you'd get pilots that do wear these watches, so it's helpful for them. Obviously I'm not saying they'll be using it because of the new technology out. Everything's done for you, but you know, it's nice. Dimensions for this watch, it's a 42mm case, 13mm thickness, and it's roughly 43.5 lug to lug and 22mm on the bracelet. So good dimensions. It's not too big, very good dimensions. And that's one of the things about this watch. Most of the flight watches, they are actually, you're looking around the 44mm mark. So this is considered quite small in that aspect. So I think that's why quite a lot of people prefer this one, because it fits just right. Let's look at a few of the features. So you've got a bi-directional rotating bezel. Now obviously that's necessary so you can do your calculations on the watch. You've got two pushers with actual screw down crowns. Push that. You've got a crown which also screws down. Okay, screwed in tight, yeah, so that does actually screw down. Now that, because everything screws down, that actually gives you, which is something quite rare on these watches, it gives you 200 meters of water resistance. Now that's diver level, and that's what makes this watch so popular and so sought after. I think the chronographs which are non-divers, there's only a few rare ones which have got 200-meter rating, and that makes them quite rare, and those are the ones that are worth quite a bit of money in the range. Now 200 meters water resistance, brilliant. Screw down crowns. You've got your chronograph function. I actually absolutely love the yellow and black. I think it looks amazing, and it reminds me of Batman, the old school Batman with the black and yellow. And then you've got the yellow, obviously you've got a few yellow. So that's the north, east, south, west. So you've got the compass here, and then you've got your yellow hand on the minute subdial, the mini hand, and then you've got your yellow main stopwatch hand, chronograph hand. This takes at 5 beats a second, gives it a semi-sweep movement. The other two dials, you've got your alarm dial at the bottom, and you've got your second sub-dial. Now this is a 7T62 movement, quartz movement, so that obviously gives you these complications. Now the alarm, we know it can be used as a secondary time zone, which is a great feature, or you can use it as an alarm. Personally, I don't use it as an alarm myself. I stick to the time that's on the watch, and it just keeps up with that. I want to focus on the actual dial now. I think it's a fantastic dial. I really love it, and you can see why. You've got a domed hardlex crystal from factory, and what that does, it gives this dial an amazing depth, almost like, not that I have, but what I'd imagine a fighter jet cockpit to look like. So this literally looks like one of the dials you probably will see in the cockpit of a jet, for example. And I think that's a really, really great feature. And what that actually does, now I want to look at this off camera. It's an interesting visual effect. Now, the inner bezel, can you see? I know it isn't like flat sloped or diagonally sloped. I know there is, the bezel is curved, the inner bezel. And I think that's such a fantastic touch. If you look at that on camera, look how deep that looks. But in reality, it isn't so deep. And when I do chronos, I mention it's always the way they were made was just amazing. Like the thought, the design, the workmanship behind it. There's a lot of effort that went into the quartz watches, and does go into them. It is a very space-y looking dial. You've got space is obviously black, and you've got these white numbers, white indicators, and you've got the yellow that sticks out. I love it. I love what they've done. This watch does come in another 2 color options, which are rarer than this. You've got a blue and red one, blue, white, and red, which is a lot more expensive than this one, believe me. Yeah, so just stop the chronograph now. Oh, should I stop it from here? Okay, so you keep it going, start it again, stop, and reset. Everything resets. Perfect. Screw them down again. Okay, let's move on to the body. High polish around the sides. It's actually a nice bezel as well. Nice design to the bezel, like a coin edge. And then you've got your pushers, polished, polished, polished. Knurled crown, screw down. Bracelet is pretty decent as well. I mean, it's just normal bracelet, nothing special. Seiko always stick to this clasp. Amazing. Always, always, always. But you do have solid end links, which is fantastic. And you've got drill lugs. Check that out. Well, hang on. No, you haven't. Sorry. That's just the pinhole for the pin to hold the top lug. We haven't got drilled. That's a nice feature on the watch. I love this stepped, staggered end link, the way it fits in but it sticks out of the actual lugs. I like that. What I don't like is this high polished center links. Now, but that's just personal preference. I think it does suit the watch possibly, but I like brushed surfaces because obviously the shiny surfaces, I mean, that's a high contact area. You're gonna scuff that up by just putting your socks on. So not a fan of that. These look cracking on NATOs. I'm not a big fan of NATOs, but they look absolutely fantastic on NATOs. I think the one in coming to mind is, I'm guessing a lot of people have seen, is the khaki paracord material with the yellow line that goes down the center, and it actually perfectly lines up with the yellow hand there. And I think that was possibly made for the watch. It looks lovely on that. I've seen them on leather, you know, but that's all subjective stuff. Whatever people like. So as I said, there's a whole range on flight computer watches or aviation watches from Seiko, pilot watches I like to call them, and they are all quite unique within their respects, but they do all have the flight computers around, so they are quite unique. A few of them are quite collectible. They're worth some money. There was a bit of hype that this Flightmaster caught when it went discontinued. I think people started inflating the price, but it didn't go as far as the SKX 007 has. You got to remember, guys, you know, they're not Rolexes and Omegas. They're not gonna, you know, increase in value or appreciate to thousands of pounds. I mean, I think they came out at 200, 250. That's what they come out at, and that's what they're going for now, brand new. So I know they have the second-hand side of it has increased a bit, but still it's not going to be anything significant. So there's no point panic buying them, hoping that they'll be worth $5,000 in the next 10-20 years. I don't see that happening. But yeah, it is quite sought after. A lot of people love them. If you can have it, I'd say buy it. It's good to have something like this in your collection. And that's what makes this watch so light. It fits very comfortably on the wrist. I did say a lot of the pilot watches are quite large, but this one really isn't. It's a nice fit, lovely colors on the watch, stands out. Let's give you a loom shot. There we go. Very bright loom. You'll definitely be able to see this when you're flying your jet. Okay, so that's me done. If you have any questions, I'll see if I can answer them in the comment section. Thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe, like, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.